Okay, what's up guys, Car Build there, and today's video is more of a update video and me working on putting my stuff back together and that. So I just put my lights on, I sprayed this, sprayed the frame, sprayed the shocks, the front shocks, and I greased the back shocks and the front and all that. I make sure I grease them up, the ball joints and all that, make sure I grease them up. Now my rear shock is stiff, so now I just want to go over it with my impact gun and just tighten them to make sure they solid, because I don't want to be riding and it fall apart, or how to go. And I think I'm strike, so I'm just gonna fix that. I just attached my headlights in. Now I am going to put the wire on this here. I'm attaching these wires. Okay. This wire don't have to be attached. It ain't this. That's not important. I could stay on like that. It's this wire that matters a lot right now. Even though I accidentally sprayed it red, this wire is gonna mean a lot. This right here is the wire for my front lights. See? Okay. These are wire for my front lights. You can see. This and this on the same thing. So it's gonna be these ones right here that makes a difference. So you know what? I'm just gonna put them in for right now and just turn it, and cause I know how to put it. It's gonna go on just like this right there. So that's straight. So my front lights could be wide and functional, because when my bike is running, my front lights wasn't turning on. But I'm actually planning on buying aftermarket lights, but I'm just gonna rock these on for now, because you see this one right here broken right here, and the plastic right here is broken, so I'm not gonna bother waste my time trying to fix it. I also bought a new radiator. Okay, I actually also bought a new radiator, so I have to hook that up. Also, the screws right here, but I'm not gonna hook that up right now. I am focusing now on, I wanna get my carbs clean up from all a little bit of overspray that I got on it. A little bit of overspray. I got some overspray on it. I had them covered up, but I think the thing that I used to cover them up, they failed, so I'm just gonna wipe off that solid. See? See, look how she just wiped off. It's just wiping right off. My cars may look brand new after this, but yeah. This right here. Just wiping it off. And since I'm using gasoline to wipe it off, because gas also has properties to break down paint and stuff. Like it have ethanol, alcohol and all that, so gas would also work, but like I'm only using gas. I have it right here because I'd have to go to the store and buy more paint thinner. Because I use quite a bit of paint thinner cleaning up my gun. Because remember I did the plastics and stuff, and I sprayed them plastics again. Had the next set of plastics to spray. The next set of plastics over there. Drying. I don't have a video on it because y'all seen me did the video of me spraying the Banshee plastics, so y'all get the idea on how to spray plastics, I guess. But yeah. Put this right here. Put this right here. It's just simple. And afterwards, I'm gonna take the rims off, clean the rims up, and possibly even polish them. Got paint like this. Let's see. Just don't want to overspray everywhere. Gotta look nice. Don't gotta look like I rushed this. Like I didn't rush it. Some people might say, "Oh, spraying a frame easy," but I'm not gonna lie to you. Spraying a frame is a little complicated. When it comes to I say it's a little hard when it comes to when it comes to getting in little angles and stuff like that, like little crevices, like an inside, like getting the gun to hold up inside it. But I know you got smaller guns for that, but some people just have a regular HVLP gun. And but otherwise I'll say I got everything, and I got the bottom, and like I accidentally scraped it when I took the spring out of how it was rubbing up against that. I actually scraped it, but I touched it up. So, but it's the bottom. Only time you're gonna really see the bottom is if you riding the bike and the bike lift up on you. But it is a Banshee, so it is gonna lift up. You are gonna see it, but who cares? Bike still look nice. But I just wanted to make the bike look new, because like I had rust here. I had rust in some areas, but I had to sand it down just because it was exposed. Just because the paint was just exposed. So I just, did that. Because when the rust is exposed, it's gonna turn. And it's gonna get worse and worse. And you start getting holes and you start getting cracks inside your frame, and you don't want that. You don't want to be riding with your friends and your bike just basically fall apart on you. Because you're gonna get laughed at and you possibly could harm yourself, so you don't want that. I took my rear caliper off, the whole master cylinder off, like I took it out. Because I had to get in the area there, and I was thinking about taking the caliper off, but I'm not gonna take the caliper off. But like I was saying, it was like a week ago. I rebuilt the top end by myself, and I thought it was gonna be hard, but it's just like building a car engine, like putting the pistons and stuff, and it's actually just like that. So it's very easy, not complicated at all. It's just that like the chances you getting cut is like high, because I got cut like 3 times. Felt like I almost took off my whole finger the time I got cut. That's not a good feeling. And I had my fingers swollen, but I rebuilt the top end, bought a new radiator, new ball pusher, new ball rod and all that, new clutches, they're ready in, new screws, cause them Phillips screws, they just pain in the butt. Cause after a while you need like a thing to take them off, cause like they get so tight to the point where you strip them, you shouldn't really hard to get it. I had like chiseled one out, like 2 out actually. for my clutch cover. But it's off. I put the new billet screws in. I'd say they're worth it though, because everybody should have an Allen key set. Yeah, so guys, after okay, so I just skipped and I just dropped the engine in, and I put the engine in, lights and all that. You already seen that, but George didn't see the engine in. So I connected the engine, I put the 2 spark plugs in, put everything in. But then I just remembered when I put the engine in, I gotta fix the ball pusher and all that. I have to buy a magnet to get the ball out and the pusher rod itself out and switch it around. Cause that's it. Then I make clutch working and I should be able to put everything back together and make sure the bike running before my birthday. You know, that's Friday coming, I wanna ride, hit the trails, you know. Yeah, a nice solid video for y'all, but hey, gotta happen. But this right here, yeah. So yeah, this one thing I must say, this bike ain't not hard to work on. It's very easy. Once you got like basic mechanical skills, everything just falls in place. And once you just passion on, you know what you're doing, you should be good. This isn't, I wouldn't say this is very hard, but some things get very frustrating at times. Like the frustrating thing, finding the magnet to take the ball and push it up. But hey, it ain't nothing complicated. Then I just gonna use silicone to seal this cover off, the clutch cover. And I gotta put the kicker assembly back on. I leave it off for when I do this. Then I'm gonna take my carbs off so I can put my clutch cable through and adjust it. So I'm gonna do all that later on when I get the ball push and all that, just so it could be easier. Then I just wanna fix my car very quick, because I ain't supposed to be there. And the next one I ain't really doing nothing, so I'm gonna fix that myself too. Then put everything back together. Then I gotta put the radiator in, put the overflow tank in, put the all air stuff back in. I should be good to go. Then I'm gonna put the gas tank in and get the actual screws, the actual right nuts for the gas tank. Then I'm gonna wipe down the whole frame, then put the plastics on. Then I wanna tighten these up, put my gun on it just to make sure that they solid. But I greased them. I greased the rear suspension parts. I greased them, see? Y'all see that? Y'all feel that? I greased them, so now they stiff. So yeah. Y'all see that? That's how. So when I go change my clutch cover, when I go change my clutch cable, I gotta take the carbs out, put it through here, adjust it here, adjust it from here. Make sure I get a nice engagement, so I don't wear out my clutches fast, because they I wouldn't say they're expensive, but they're like a pain in the butt to replace. It's like they're a pain in the butt to get, and especially me being inside the Bahamas. Everything hard to get right now when it comes to like parts that you can find, and this is a bike that you can't really find over here. There's like 3 of these over here. Two that I know of for sure. And I have one, and I know the next person who got the next one. So that's how it is. But yeah, not that much people got Yamaha parts. If you have a Yamaha shop, but they don't really cater to like Yamaha like the Banshee and stuff, they cater more to like the newer Yamaha bikes. Like if you want like stuff for this, you gotta order it. Or unless you see I said next one over here, you might have extra parts. Say, man, let me buy it off you, and you buy this what I have, cause I have like extra gaskets. I have an extra gasket, I have an extra head gasket. So yeah, I actually have like one extra piston, but you gotta, when you change the pistons, you gotta change them in a pair of tools, cause you know that don't make sense. Just changing one, so you have one side to running solid, and your next side that don't make no sense. So that's the thing with that. But one thing I must say, I sat down in my room for like 3 hours rebuilding the top end, learning, not really 3 hours, but like I was learning how to change the piston, the circlip, and trying to understand how actual two-stroke works, the mixture ratio, you know, to mix the oil and the gas, to make sure that you don't weld your piston, because as what I seen from my old jugs, was very scotched up in the inside from me riding the bike too lean. Same thing with the piston. Piston got a bunch of scratches going, like from friction going up and down, up and down. So now since I put in a new cylinder and all that, and now that I put in a new cylinder, now I understand why you gotta mix the gas and oil exact, because you can be messing up your pistons and stuff like that, and that's not good. Like, and the next reason why I changed my cylinder jugs, because I know y'all are saying, oh, you don't have to change the cylinder jugs if they all scotch up or not. But sometimes some people say, oh, you do. Some people say, oh, you don't have to. But the reason why I changed my cylinder jugs was because the threads inside it, they were no good. Like last year, I was riding the bike and the thread, one of the studs just pop out. I said, you know how to change it. I had a big hole cadabble about like a big hole problem about rethreading it, having to find a rethread and all that. And like, what if I rethread it and same thing happen yet? Don't make no sense, because I'd be back inside the same predicament. I spending money, throwing money at the thing. You know what? Just bite the bullet and just buy the whole cylinder head. Call it that. Then I got a new radiator. Well, this radiator here is short. Got holes here. Now you see the corrosion right here. Yeah, that's from me running the bike with water. I'm planning on the water. I'm not saying that. I mean, because water was right there, so it's like water right there, so I'm just use it. I'll just put coolant in whenever, and never get to putting the coolant in, so I end up messing up my whole radiator, and basically just messing up my radiator just using water. So now I purchased a new radiator, oversized radiator. So now I'm gonna say, okay, no water, straight coolant. See if I got coolant on hand, you know, straight coolant, no water. If I don't have to use water, I'm not using water. Straight coolant. So yeah, that's what I learned also. So ain't nothing too murderous, but like I told y'all, I learned a lot. You know, taking it apart, learning why this happens, how to prevent it from happening and stuff like that. Once I learned that, I was solid. Like I could tell you, oh, you shouldn't do this to a Banshee. You shouldn't do this or that. So from my experience, so y'all basically learned from my experience on how not to mess up. That's what y'all learn. Y'all learning from my experience on, oh, you shouldn't do this, because I already did it, done it, messed it up, bought it. Say, yeah, you know what, I ain't do that again. Sometimes that's how we learn. Say, man, I have to mess it up to say, oh yeah, it ain't happening like that. But other than that, I learned my lesson. That's a very expensive lesson too. So yeah, that's one thing I must say. But then if you be reading the forums and stuff with the Banshee, with the YZF 350, they say oh, you should buy a new stator. Just have an extra stator on hand because, you know, stator go bad. Yeah, they do, but I'll get to it. If it happens, it happens. Can't get mad. You know, everything happens for a reason. But, yeah, we solid. This is how far I got. Put lights in. The plastics inside. I want to buy the screws for plastics to screw them down. So I don't be using zip ties. I get tired of seeing zip ties. I gotta use zip ties for the wires and stuff, but for plastics, I'm supposed to use screws. Cause I don't want to be riding on my plastic, flipping and flopping, you know? That's not Banshee like, you know? So yeah, wanna make it go right. I know y'all looking at these tires and say, boy, you got slicks. Boy, tires coming soon. I would say take tires off that bike, but you gotta. See, I beat my tires, and my tires ready to be beating it, but that's what it is. So, if y'all have any questions y'all wanna ask me, y'all could ask inside the comment section below. You could ask me any question you want. But my projects that I had in the past, like my Mustang 350Z, anything, or you could ask about this. I'll try my best to answer your question, but I'm not saying I know it, or we can help each other inside the comment section below. Like, I mean, sometimes I might miss something, or might have misinformed y'all or what. But it's sometimes you make mistakes. But sometimes for this, everything is a learning curve for everybody. So y'all teach me something, I teach y'all a little something. So it's like knowledge comes around, goes around, same thing. So yeah. But like I see my views going up, having subscribers, but I'm trying to get more subscribers. But y'all make sure y'all hit that sub button, make sure y'all like, make sure I hit that post notification button for when I have more videos and stuff. Cause on this bike country we can be having fun. We can be having fun in the trails. Oh yeah. Peace.